Hi everyone, this is my Module 4 response for EDSE 307. My major subject area is English Language Arts. ELA includes many different types of texts, such as poems, graphic novels, short stories, and novels. For today, let's look at novels. Specifically, this novel, The Alchemist. A novel such as this pushes students to comprehend language in multiple ways. It literally references multiple spoken languages, but as a novel, it includes other languages too. At times, characters communicate solely through body language. At other times, characters leave it to the reader to interpret their emotions. And because the primary themes of this novel are actually quite philosophical in concept, it also includes poetic language, which means readers might have to do a bit of digging to understand the deeper meaning of the text. Luckily, for a text such as this, we have many opportunities for students to engage in comprehension strategies. A pre-reading strategy we can use to support student comprehension is the use of response notebooks. Novels such as The Alchemist can at times be quite nuanced or ambiguous. Authors sometimes intentionally don't say things explicitly so that their readers can pick up on the subtle features of their story. Learning how to pick up on these nuances takes time and practice. Response notebooks allow students to practice the skill of meaning making, which is a characteristic of good readers. Furthermore, response notebooks allow students to clarify their ideas, identify confusing points, integrate new information with their background knowledge, and deepen their understanding and memory of the reading. If we were reading this novel in class, before we even open the first page, we could ask students, why do you think it is called The Alchemist? Students' predictions will depend on their current background knowledge, such as whether or not they know what an alchemist is. But they can later look back on this prediction and contemplate what they have learned since they started reading the novel. A strategy we can use during reading is graphic organizers. Graphic organizers offer an excellent opportunity for students to conceptualize what they are reading. When we read, characters, setting, and plot all need to be conceptualized in our minds for the stories to have meaning. But what if the words just aren't clicking? A graphic organizer takes the thoughts in our minds and turns them into something we can see with our actual eyes. For example, in a novel such as this that involves a journey, there is great emphasis on the timeline and the distance the character has traveled. However, in writing, the significance is not necessarily that clear. A sentence like, "He traveled from Spain to the pyramids," might not communicate to some students how big of a deal that is. However, they might understand the significance of the journey by writing out the timeline, or comparing the time it takes to travel to the locations with different modes of transportation. Additionally, graphic organizers, or even just drawing things out, can help determine whether student confusion is based on a language barrier or a conceptual misunderstanding, which can help the teacher understand the needs of their students. A post-reading strategy we can use to support student comprehension is the question-answer relationship activity. This strategy allows students to explore the text at 4 levels, starting with questions that can be found right in the text, such as, where does the protagonist's journey begin? And then ending at the 4th stage by asking questions that require creative response, like, what would have happened if the protagonist had never gone on his journey? A strategy such as this requires students to use explicit and implicit information in the text to find the answers to the questions. This is quite useful when reading a novel because the languages used within the story are not always easy to understand. This strategy ensures students gain practice in being able to identify what is most important in a text. Determining importance, or identifying essential ideas and information, is one of the strategies that proficient readers use regularly and across a wide variety of texts, meaning that this strategy not only prepares students for reading novels in the future, but also for reading in other content areas. These 3 strategies are only a few of many that would be beneficial in an ELA classroom. These strategies are also not complicated and are a good starting point for any ELA teacher.